Hello, ladies. First of the month, really great opportunity to do a little bit of reflection, to look back at where we've come from already, look back at the last month, look back at what's been working, what's not been working. And it's a great time now to do a reboot, reset, and move forward for not just the next 4 weeks, the next 8 weeks, but continuation on there so that you can continue this journey and you can continue to achieve your goals. So I know the winter months can sometimes feel really challenging. It feels like a time that we lack motivation. We feel maybe, our energy levels are lower. Obviously there's all the bugs that go around, let alone COVID, but all the other bugs that go around at this time of year as well. So how do we prevent all those challenges from kind of derailing us on our journey of weight loss, transformation, health, and all those journeys that come around it? So first of all, let's talk about goals and goal setting. And if you are setting your goals on your own, then think to yourself, you've got to be realistic. You've got to be really smart about thinking with them. So, don't just pluck a number out of the sky and say, do you know what, that's what I want to lose by Christmas. If it's not a realistic number, not only will you not achieve it, but the likelihood is that you'll go into that sort of self-sabotage mode. And when you don't achieve something, you'll just throw the towel in. If you don't have the accountability there, you will throw the towel in and you will just, allow yourself to derail completely, because those are pre-conditioned coping mechanisms that you have gained over the years. Probably something that we've spoken about in the past, that's maybe been a default that you've gone to. Don't achieve your weight loss. Do you know what? What's the point? I'll just eat a packet of biscuits. I'll have that cake. I'll order that takeaway, and it just spirals out of control from there. So think about your goals. What is realistic? 1 to 2 pounds a week is a great weight loss. And I know some people still say, oh, I only lost a pound this week. But if you lost a pound every week for a year, that's 52 pounds of weight lost. And that is not a small achievement. That is not a small goal. So please put out of your mindset that anything like, a pound, half a pound just isn't worth it. It is worth it. It's sustainable and it chips away at that bigger goal. So set yourself a realistic goal. If you need to, do some sort of a target sheet or something that kind of is quite, if you're a visual person and you like spreadsheets or you like graphs and charts, make something, put it on your fridge, put it on a cupboard, put it somewhere that's visual and keeps you accountable, and get that support network around you. You know how important accountability is. You know how effective it is and how much it works. So if there's somebody within your family or your household that you can get to be accountable with, then do that, so that, if they see you going to get a packet of biscuits in the evenings, they're kind of like, hello, I thought that was, that wasn't what you wanted to do. That wasn't towards your goals. That's away from your goals. So think about that first of all with your goal setting. Think about being really realistic, that they are achievable. Yes, goals should always stretch you a little bit. That's the whole point. But if it is so far out of your remit, then you are not going to be feeling like achieving that goal. The next thing is the fundamentals and the foundations. And I'm going to take you right back to when you started on this transformation journey in this program. What did we start with? We started with everything that was key to building the basics and building the foundations. So, how imperative your sleep is. And I know that, obviously, especially a lot of us are sort of, in our midlife, a lot of us are going through hormonal changes. We're maybe perimenopausal, menopausal, and that brings with it its own challenges. But it doesn't mean that it has to stop us from losing weight or stop us from feeling great or stop us from having all the energy that we want. We just have to treat ourselves with a little bit more respect and nurture and nourishment than we probably did 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago. So maybe 5 years ago, if you had a 4-hour night's sleep because you'd been to a party or you'd had a really late night with work, maybe it wouldn't have a massive impact the next day or the day after that. But as we get older and as our hormones change, that sleep becomes even more imperative that we get it. So we should be trying to get 8 hours of deep, restful sleep a night. So the first thing to do is, what time do you have to get up every morning? What time does your alarm go off? Work your 8 hours back from then. But I would also be saying to you, add an hour on, because the chances are you need to get ready for bed. You know, how many of us literally stop doing whatever we were doing at nighttime, get straight into bed, and that's it, we're ready for sleep? It's pretty unusual. So a couple of things I recommend at night are switching off that tech, and I'm including the television in that. So, you know, switching off the apps on your phone, or just switching off your phone, your iPad, your browsing, your screen time, anything like that for 60 to 90 minutes prior to going to bed. Do something like read a book instead, or you know, if you're into craft, do something crafty for that last sort of time. Something that just helps your brain to naturally start to produce the melanin that you need to sleep. Because when you're on screens and you're watching TV, it's going completely against your natural rhythm within your body. So turn that tech off 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. Have a nice warm bath or a warm shower, something that just helps your body to start to kind of go into rest mode and start to relax. Generally, ideally, you should have stopped eating sort of 90 minutes to 2 hours before you go to bed. Some people find that they might need maybe a little bit of an energy food before they go to bed. Now, the only thing I would suggest is a part of a banana, not even a whole banana, maybe half a banana, or something like a tiny cupful of some porridge oats with some warm milk. Other than that, you don't need to be having a pre-bedtime meal. There is no scientific research proven that warm drinks at bedtime help you to go to sleep, other than with children. But if you find that a warm drink at bedtime kind of helps to settle you, a hot chocolate, Horlicks, whatever it might be, a herbal tea, have something like that if it puts you into that mindset of feeling relaxed and ready for sleep. And yes, have your warm shower, and if you can, do something like a meditation or a sleep app to just help to settle you down. I know it's difficult if you obviously, have a partner, you share a bed, because you can't always kind of control all the temperature, but your room should be cool when you go to bed. You should have some ventilation coming in, a window open. Even throughout the cold winter months, you should have some ventilation in that room, because when your body temperature gets too hot, that's what will wake you up at night. So if you're already struggling a little bit with body temperature, with hormonal imbalance, then that will only be impacted more if you sleep at night with a huge heavy duvet on, a blanket, socks on in bed, and your windows closed. So just remember that ventilation is really, really important. And actually, I am still sleeping with my summer duvet on. I might put a small blanket over the top at night, but the reason I don't have my winter duvet on is because it doesn't allow my body to kind of circulate the right temperature at night. And actually, if I'm too warm in the night, I'll actually wake up during the night really, really hot, but also I'll wake up feeling so tired and lethargic. When I go to bed with my summer duvet on, I wake up feeling really energized, ready for the day, and much more alert. So have a look at your sleep hygiene. What things are there? I bet there's one or two things in there already that you could just really easily change right now, and it would have an impact. And you might be thinking, why are you talking about sleep? It's my weight that I want to, it's weight that I want to get off. Well, listen, sleep is one of the biggest key factors. If you are sleep deprived, and it is shown in so much research with shift workers, if you are sleep deprived or your body is against your circadian rhythm, then you will not release fat and your body will not burn fat effectively, because it is storing and holding on to everything. So Make sure that you get your sleep really, really well focused on. Because the other thing is as well that with sleep deprivation and when we feel tired, most of the time it's tiredness that is that kind of trigger for us with emotional food. So how often have you woken up after a really bad night's sleep and gone, oh, I just fancy a coffee and I fancy some toast or, a croissant or just something comforting. You never wake up and think, oh yes, what lovely high protein breakfast can I have? Because your body is just kind of saying to you, I'm tired, I'm sluggish, I just want some energy. And it thinks it kind of wants things like carbs, and that's what you start to crave. But actually, if you go in and have that high protein breakfast first thing in the morning, you will set yourself up for the day. You will stabilize your blood sugar levels so that you're not having this peak of the carbs and the troughs and the peaks and troughs of the caffeine and everything else. Get in there and have a high protein breakfast. So I know I bang on about it, but your eggs, your chicken, all those things. And you might be thinking, oh my God, I cannot eat chicken for breakfast. But eggs, have scrambled eggs, make some of the egg muffins, make an omelette, make a frittata that you can make a massive frittata one night of the week and then you've got it for, a couple of days breakfast afterwards. Something that's really, really high in protein is not only going to help to fuel your body correctly, but also, the building blocks that we know about, so important as well as we get into our 40s and beyond, is that we need to repair those muscles. We need to work on that bone density. And that is all going to come from the protein that we put into our diets. So your high protein breakfast, getting those 2 handfuls of veg into every meal. And it might be at breakfast that you go, oh my God, I cannot get veg down. So get your fruit in at breakfast time if that's what you need to do. But your 2 handfuls of vegetables at lunchtime and dinner time should be a non-negotiable. You're going to get energy from the vegetables. You're also going to get far more food for your money, because the calories are so much lower than they are in something that's a carbohydrate or a protein-based food. So getting those vegetables in means that you're giving your body energy, you're giving it fuel, you're getting all the micro and the macronutrients that you need to fuel your body, especially at this time of the year. And also just think those vegetables and those fruits are actually going to help to enhance your mood. It's a known fact. Eat the rainbow, that's the phrase. If you eat those rainbows of colours in your diet every day, a variety of them so it's different, you are giving yourself those mood boosting effects as well, which is so important during the winter time. Also, your protein is going to help to eliminate those cravings, and it's also going to help to suppress your appetite. Getting enough water in. Remember, you should be getting in a minimum of 2 to 2.5 litres a day. And I know, again, it's like, oh, drinking water in the winter, that's tough. If you need to put a little bit of cordial in there, do that. Or if you need to have maybe more herbal teas, that's fine. But your fluid intake, your water, should come really predominantly from water, not from tea and coffee, because they will actually dehydrate you. Then think about your exercise. What are you committing to? Are you being realistic, or are you just setting yourself a goal that you know you're not going to achieve? The clocks have changed. That means that our afternoons are going to start to get darker. Yes, the mornings a little bit lighter again, but the days are going to get shorter and darker, and that's a known fact. And it's difficult and it's a struggle. And we all know that as the day goes on during the winter, so the motivation kind of lapses. So you might set off the morning by going, oh yeah, after work today, I'm going to go out on a 5-mile walk. By 4 o'clock, you're still at work and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's getting dark outside. I'm tired. I've got no energy for this. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And before you know it, you've already failed on that goal that you set. So mornings are the best time to do your exercise, because you don't have the chance to kind of fall back on it like you do when it's later on in the day. So is there a way that you can get up of a morning and go and do some exercise first thing in the morning? And maybe it is that it's not safe for you to go out and walk, and I don't want to suggest anybody does anything that is not safe and is not something in their comfort zone. Maybe it's not safe for you to go out on a walk in the morning on your own. So is there something different that you could do? Is there something that you could still do, maybe outside in your garden, but something that still gets your body moving, and some, and energized and out in nature, rather than just being indoors, which, I know a lot of us that work at home might predominantly be indoors throughout the day. If you have a membership, if you belong to a club, whatever it might be, is there somebody that you can buddy up with as an accountability partner? Somebody who is not going to let you down, because at the end of the day, they let you down and that affects your goals as well. But somebody that you can work together on this with and say, right, let's do this together. So getting your exercise is so important. It's so good for your mental health. At this time of the year, when it's a real struggle in the winter months, it's so important to get out and exercise every single day in nature, to get yourself a little bit of vitamin D, to get some natural daylight, because that's also what helps your serotonin levels and also your melatonin, so that when you do come to go to bed at night, your body is naturally producing the hormones that it needs to produce. But if you are getting no exercise during the day at all, then that is going to be having an impact on all these different elements that we've spoken about. And the next thing is motivation. We know that motivation, it's not a thing, okay? It's motivation. If you are relying on motivation every single day to eat the right foods, to get out and exercise, to achieve your goals, then you will fail. Because motivation is a short burst. It's something that we can literally just use almost like as a little bit of adrenaline to get us to do something and achieve it there and then. But if we're relying on that motivation every mealtime, every day, every week, every month, we run out of it. So rather than motivation, I want you to think about momentum. How can you build that momentum? And as I said at the very beginning, you might think, oh, I've only lost a pound. A pound, as I said, over a year is 52 pounds. So we might think that these things are really, really small and they're not having an impact. But actually, when we look back on a week, a month, 6 months, a year, they actually have a huge impact. So instead of relying on that motivation, look at the habits, look at the things that I've just sort of covered, look at where there are some rooms for improvement, and give yourself some realistic goals to improve each of those things each day. So maybe you know that you're not getting enough protein in your diet. You also know that you're too busy watching Netflix until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. There's 2 things that you can start straight away: increasing your protein at every meal and going to bed earlier and getting that important sleep in. So have a look, watch this back if you need to, have a look and see where there are some little areas at the moment of improvement within what you're doing, where you can start to build some really good healthy habits again. And it's those healthy habits that give you the momentum, that help you to move on to the next goal and help you to achieve the next goal. So I hope that some of this has been helpful for you. Please, please, please do comment. Let me know how you found it. Let me know if you've got any questions at all. Obviously, if it is that you're needing more accountability and you feel that your accountability is the thing that's letting you down, then drop me a message and we can have a chat about that and see if that's something that we can work on together. But hopefully this has given you a little bit of a boost, beginning of the month, beginning of the winter months, just to help you to just put yourself back on that right path again and help you to achieve those goals. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.